Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Today we're going to have a little bit of a controversial video, and for legal reasons, this video is based on some emails last night that I had sent to myself when I had a conversation. So again, everything in this video was just Rudy kind of late nights, 3 a.m. rambling here. There's no validity, no credibility. Go on social media, Rudy makes everything up. So we're just going to get all this out in the front. That's it. This video is going to be about Wizards of the Coast, 2025, 2026, and Magic the Gathering. There is no actual evidence of anything I'm saying in this video. It is all made up, and this is an entertainment channel. So, obviously a lot of you all have realized that Wizards of the Coast has brought back MSRP. There's been a lot of chatter on it. I made some videos about it in the last few weeks. I told you all it didn't really mean much, but it was kind of interesting to see Wizards of the Coast state that a standard Magic collector box is $299 plus tax. So MSRP of $300. It's interesting to see, a Magic, play box at something at $250 or whatever it is MSRP. It's interesting to see some of these numbers that they are deeming the suggested price should be. So obviously, the Timmies in the game piece army are just going, oh, that's great. We don't really care. It doesn't change anything. Where's my cheap pieces? Make sure it's reprinted. Don't let anything go up. I need to remain in the same level of... I'm moving forward. So, there's a little bit more to this story. So, in the middle of the night last night, I had a bad Crunchwrap Supreme, and then I ate some... I microwaved some leftover waffle fries, and, I started emailing myself, and then it was very fascinating what the results were when I read them this morning from those late night bad waffle fries. And it kind of makes a lot of sense, so I'm going to lay out some interesting things. If you're an old fart like me and you yell at clouds, you dig holes and you jump into it like a carrot, you yell at cars, and you will know that 20, 30 years ago, Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, well, specifically Wizards of the Coast before they were bought by Hasbro, they had official Wizards of the Coast retail stores. You could go to a mall. Are malls still a thing? Timmy's go to mall. You could go to a retail strip center or a mall. There was an actual Wizards of the Coast store. You could walk into the store and buy Wizards of the Coast items, accessories, packs of cards. Like there was a retail LGS, but owned by Wizards Direct. Now, ironically, they didn't really have actual tournaments and play space at most of these. Kind of weird, isn't it? But they had retail stores. Now, obviously, the next thing is you're aware that Hasbro Wizards are struggling trying to find directions of revenue growth. And with Wizards of the Coast, as we've all learned, and if you haven't by now, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. Why are you even on this channel? Just click the thumbs down button and go away. If you haven't learned by now, collector boxes of Magic the Gathering are very collectible again. If you haven't realized by now that the tight print runs on collector boxes is no fucking joke. Like it's a serious thing, boys and girls. Like this is, like they're not screwing around. Ask any LGS, ask anybody about Foundation collectors, Bloomburrow collectors, Dustmourne collectors, Ravnica Remastered collectors, Ixalan collectors, Wildsville Drain collectors. Should we say Lord of the Ring collectors? Are we allowed to say that? Doctor Who, Fallout, anything. It doesn't matter what it is. If you haven't realized by now what's going on, I can't help you. We're a year into one of the greatest bull markets in modern history for a sealed product. Now, with this being said, the purpose of returning MSRP is because they're developing their own website to sell direct to public, kind of like ScaleFast with Secret Lair. Now, I'm not sure if ScaleFast is building it. It's going to be a separate website. It's going to be combined with ScaleFast and Secret Lairs, or it's going to be isolated. I don't know the details of these things. I fell asleep when I was writing these emails to myself. And some people call it the Pokemon business model. Other people call it the return of kind of the old-fashioned Wizards of the Coast direct to consumer. So as we all are learning, the way Hasbro and Wizards are navigating reducing the print run, but without crushing their revenue, is they're trying to increase their margins, which is what I would do. In order to do this, they need to get more per box. If they're not going to make 500,000 collector boxes, and they're only going to make 200,000 collector boxes, well, you need to, instead of getting wholesale from distribution an X amount of dollars, you need to sell direct to the consumer and try to get 50% more, 30 or 80% more, so that if you cut it in half, you can still generate a similar cash flow by adjusting the spread. Not the spread of your X. This is a business spread. No giggities. I see you in the back, Timmy. So, what does this really mean? Obviously, the game piece army and the people who want things printed to the ground, and as I call them, the dumbass internet police, social media, anything. As you all know, I have a very firm opinion on things like this. Number one, you guys know the Rudy phrase. If you overprint, you will pay the price and you will get fucked. The market, just like Wall Street, if you do something stupid, you don't report your quarterly earnings on Wall Street. If you delay your earnings report, if you do not give guidance to Wall Street, the market will rail you. The market will penalize you, dump your stock, and it will beat the crap out of you. That's how Wall Street works. In the card world, if you listen to the internet police and the social media Timmies who live on these little websites going beep, boop, 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 boop. Remember, they always have the little arm from the slot machine because they just burn their money because they're Timmies. If you listen to them, you will fail. If you overprint, you will pay the price and you will sink. We've been over this for years. So now how does a company like a powerhouse like a Magic or even like Pokemon, how do you navigate this stuff? Well, Magic has learned in 2024 that by reducing the print runs of collector boxes, suddenly everybody forgot the 2-year crash bear market Magic 30 mark bottom water. We won't reprint Magic 30 in the collector box. Oh fuck, we're going to do that anyways. Haha. All these things have been bygones. They've just been let go. Everybody's moved on. We all love Magic. Thank you for punching us in the face, Chuck Norris. And the economy of the secondary market marches forward. Now, this is going to create some interesting things. By revealing the MSRP in a Magic Direct virtual LGS store, I don't know the details. I don't know if they're going to give buy a box promos. I don't know if they're going to give special promos if you buy direct from Wizards. I don't know if there's going to be quantity limits. We don't know. If you buy 6, is Wizards actually going to ship sealed cases to direct to the consumer? We don't know the details of a lot of these things. Okay? What we do know is with MSRP and the development of different ideas, most likely, if it gets finalized, and I finish the email to myself over the holidays, in the next 12 to 18 months, they're going to deploy a direct-to-consumer system like the Pokemon Center. Now, how I feel about this or anything? I'll be very honest with you all. I'm going to be very blunt about the whole thing. Personally, this is probably going to be a take you don't expect. I think it's a fucking great idea. Straight up. I'm going to be fucking blunt with you all. It should have been done years ago. I think it's a great idea. Absolutely, I think they should do it. If I was on the Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro board of directors, and I was the baby cock, the little cock under Chris Cox. Ooh, that was a hard left exit on the highway. If I was the soft, if I was the, moving on. If I was on this board of directors, I would be pushing for this. Because no matter how the internet police and all this stuff, game piece army, cheap, reprint, it's like whack-a-mole. Did that card pop up in value? Wow! No matter how you feel about it, look at the management difference from Pokemon to Wizards of the Coast and Magic. The data is just, look at the price of sealed product of Pokemon. Look at the difference in Magic. Look at the Pokemon industry, the secondary market, the hype, the social media. Look at the tens of thousands of Pokemon PokeTubers, and look at what's going on. Look at this new dawn of rip and ship era being dominated by Pokemon. Look at what's happening, this new development in this new bull cycle. It's fascinating shit, everybody. I'm not sitting back here just chowing waffle fries, and I'm just like, whoa. I'm like a crazy person, Well, you have to be to write emails to yourself. So now I sit back and I say, okay, let's visualize a world with Wizards is selling direct, not just secret layers and festival in a box. Oh, look, there's a box and it's not a dick, it's a festival. Anyways, what's it going to be like? What's it going to be like? How are we going to, what does this mean? And well, honestly, okay, so, all right, so let's see here. If a play box has an MSRP of like $250 or something, wow, okay, that's great for LGSs. If stores are paying, LGSs are paying, I don't know, $120, $123 for a play box, and MSRP's $250, $229, $230. It's like, well, okay, it's good for LGSs, right? It establishes a benchmark that the market will pull towards. And then, if everybody gets upset when something skyrockets and goes over MSRP, you have that benchmark. If the rubber band gets stretched too far down, it pops over MSRP, and the rubber band pops to the sky, the MSRP of the company direct will help pull it back to MSRP. You'll have this kind of magnetic force that's going to pull low prices up and high prices down. You're going to have kind of this, it's like a giant ball sack with gravity. Fine, we'll fucking use the sun. It's like the sun. It's got a giant amount of gravity. We won't use ball sacks. And it'll pull it towards it. And I think that's okay. Now, what does that mean for someone like me? Well, that's probably going to be a big positive thing for someone like me because, well, as you all know, I sell probably some of the largest volume of Magic the Gathering in the United States. I account for at least 1% to 2% of Wizards of the Coast's entire quarterly earnings. Maybe not 2%. It's like 1.1%, maybe 1.2%, depending on the quarter. I mean, it's noticeable. That is a real thing. You know, if I'm dropping over $1 million or $2 million a month, depending on the release, that's a noticeable thing. That's like, hey, you know, the guy we can't acknowledge, that's kind of a real thing, you know? I mean, so that's how I feel. So, well, as everybody focuses on those numbers, as you all know, this channel is sponsored by you all. I don't have any outside sponsorships. I don't take sponsorships on the channel. It's literally you all and patrons and viewers. So when I sell every Magic Play box for $116, yes, including Foundations and Dustmorn and Bloomborough, and you guys buy the shit out of it from me, establishing $200-something MSRPs and all these stuff, like, I view this as beneficial for someone like me, and I view it as beneficial for the 2,000 plus LGSs of the United States. Now, I also hope, this is an unknown variable, with the expansion of this, the prices in MSRP would hopefully match or get more accurate with Amazon, because what are they going to do, compete with themselves? They're going to put a play box at $140 and then MSRP of $220 on this side. Like, I mean, are they going to match them? Like, I don't know how that would work. So overall, it's interesting. But I believe with a high degree of certainty that this is the roadmap coming. And I don't think it's really going to impact Commander decks, play boxes, or anything like that. I think the biggest impact this is going to have is on Universes Beyond collector boxes that are high demand that can skyrocket to the moon. I believe it's going to impact what if they run their own Black Friday sales? What if they run their own Cyber Monday, Stepsister Tuesday sales on direct-to-consumer? I mean, they've never run sales on the Secret Lair website saying, hey, Black Friday, half-price Secret Lairs of leftover. Like, they've never done stuff like that. So who's to stop them from actually then creating new avenues to draw traffic direct to them? So there's a lot of unknowns, and there's a lot of levers and choices and ropes and things they can pull, and there's a lot of buttons they can press to do creative things if you have good management, you know, operating this new platform. So I think overall, I don't think it's a bad thing. When, I'm not going to say if, but when the day comes that this is deployed, it's going to be a nuclear level shockwave to the general public. Again, most people don't watch this channel. A video like this, because it's not really, I'll put a negative title, I guess. This video may get like 10,000 views. It's not going to have the reach when we have 10 million Magic players. 99% of the people aren't going to know that this is even coming. So when there's an announcement, people are like, oh my God. You know, and I think because, corporations move slow. And I think that this is going to be an interesting development. And I don't know how it will work for like the collector box details. So do they print more collector boxes, supply Amazon, supply Wizards Direct, and then supply all the LGSs? Do they reduce LGS's collector box supplies even more and reroute to Wizards Direct and keep Amazon the same? Do they cut off Amazon and not want to pay the fulfillment and storage fees and just move the Amazon direct to their own system and overhaul it like Secret Lair and ScaleFast? See, these are the unknown things. What they do know internally at these company meetings that I'm not a part of is that they're very happy with what's happening in the Magic market. Okay? Well, the Timmies are upset about X-ray boxes and Jeweled Lotus and all this dumb shit that's already over with, and everyone's going, what? There's a Jeweled Lotus? Wait, X-ray machines for my penis? What? No, nobody, that's all gone. The Timmies already got angry, they rage quit, I don't know, they throw their stuff in the dumpster, they draw on it, put an act on it, whatever. But the board of directors and the management and the corporate meetings of WotC have been very proud and very happy with what they're seeing with the success of the secondary market of collector boxes. They watch the secondary market of TCG Player and eBay almost daily. They report. There are individuals inside this company on the West Coast with sorcerers and wizards that literally report back in meetings of what the prices are on TCG Player. This is not a real thing. And they're proud to report that the growth and success of their products are not tanking. They are proud that the secondary market and the value of their products are holding, going up. The people inside of this pretend place are very, they're clapping each other on the back. They're holding each other all the way. They got like a circle and they're all reaching to the left. They're very proud of this. And they should be. They should be. Memes and jokes and Rudy and stepsisters aside, they should be proud because they did a good job. And the internet doesn't praise companies when they do a good job. The internet only burns, and we go back to dumpster fires and look, here's a dumpster. Oh look, a dumpster fire. The internet only bashes when something slips up. Magic 30. The internet doesn't praise good job, but they're doing a good job. And they're doing a good job because you have every store like me, every person on the internet asking for collector boxes of not just $1,000, $2,000 Lords of the Rings, but you have everybody asking for collector boxes of Foundations, Duskmourn. Literally the last few sets, Foundations, Duskmourn, Bloomborough. Hell, even Karlov Manor is almost $200 a collector box again. And of course, the specialty sets. It's doing good. And I don't feel anyone's being positive and giving these people credit enough, but this is the next framework moving forward. So for example, this is why I think it's positive for the LGS, and I'll end this video. But for someone like me, when I talk to you guys and I manage this business and I run it to make the videos, it's based around you guys clicking the videos and viewing it, and me having patrons that I talk to and I sell you guys boxes. That's literally how my time in this channel operates. I know, complicated rocket science. So when the market's healthy and play boxes are on, Foundation play boxes are $140 plus tax, $150 shipped, and Timmy's are paying $150, $155 shipped, it allows me to thank you all for watching this channel. You can be patrons of mine. I can sell you $116 shipped. You can save $180 on a single purchase a month. And that's what's happening. So this kind of thing is good for me, and it's good for the 2,000 LGSs in the country by showing and having prices on their direct website for higher numbers. Now, there's always a downside risk. They could start fire selling, they could undercut the whole market, they could fire sell their own products and damage it. Now, I don't believe that's ever going to happen anymore, and I could be wrong, but I don't believe that's really a real thing because they learned their lesson. And there were things that happened between distribution and corporate wizards after some of those dumps that I can't go into, but there were meetings and things that took place where essentially it's never going to happen again. There were some settlements and things, there were some meetings, there were some issues regarding some of the sets. Looking at you, Dominari Remastered. And it's just not going to happen again. Sure, Amazon can discount some stuff and mark some things down, limit what box or two, but that's fine. But we're talking what we saw of extreme dumps of like Crimson Vow, Midnight Hunt collectors for $70 for collector box. Like, we'll never see that again. We'll never see it again. It was a black swan moment, and that's what happens when you put Philip Morris in charge of selling cigarettes to kids. Fuck, too soon. Hope you guys learned something today. You all have a beautiful day out there.